Well, it's a strong lineup, which you can tell Bruce went for it, but it's the same old dross football. Nothing changed, particularly from the game against Fulham, the game against Leeds United, and the warning signs were there already. The man, Steve Bruce, he has to be fired now. He has to be fired, even though it's probably not going to happen. But honestly, the fans were just so fed up with this horrific style that Bruce is playing. And I don't know how much more fans are going to put up with this now because it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. And you're lucky there is no fans at that ground because imagine how toxic that would have been after the full time whistle.
I saw a lot of shit, to be honest with you. A lot of shit. Listen, I know we all want Bruce out. Yeah, I understand that. But you got to look at the ambition of the club. Come on, you can say it's Bruce's fault, but who put him there? Who put him there? Are the players good enough? Are they good enough for the Premier League? Look at a lot of them players. We're a defensive team. Our defence is pretty good. Goalkeeper defence is good. From there, we're lacking. We've got a good striker in Wilson, but the rest of them, they're shit. They're absolute shit. We need to get quality. Yeah, ASM, yeah. Probably one of our best players with Wilson, but problem is with ASM, he's always out. He's there, but then he'll be out for a long time. We get a little bit out of him, and then he's gone. If you look at Joe Linton, the 45 million striker man, I mean, why we bought him it's unreal. He's not even a fucking championship striker, to be honest with you, is he? Look at him. He can't even hold the ball up. That's what we mainly bought him in, to bring players in, to feed it to Wilson, feed it to the striker. He doesn't even do that. I would honestly leave him out completely. Get rid of him completely. Don't play him. Put him in the reserves, because he's guaranteed to start every game, isn't he? And he doesn't do anything.
I'm just so depressed about what I've just seen. It's shambolic, to be honest, like that bloke's just said. It's how many times are we going to watch this rubbish? A lot of our players, I know we haven't got a top 8 squad, might not even have a top 10 squad, but we've got a decent squad. It's not, if you think back to when we were first promoted, what was it, 2017? Our squad is 100 times better now than it was then.
100%.
So we should be. Could we break into the top 10? I don't know with this squad, but we could certainly at least try. And being told we should be happy with 14th, 15th every year, and being told we should be grateful for it's just starting to really get on my nerves, to be honest.
Yeah,
I disagree with the last couple of people you've had on. I think come January, February, we will very much be in a relegation battle.
I've tried to remain positive with Bruce being in there. Like I said, he's a Geordie lad, and obviously he probably knows the background, the city, all that piss and bollocks. Obviously, I mean, last year, there were good moments. Like the last-minute winner against Chelsea, like Jordan Pickford's small arms, not keeping out Lejeune shot, and there were some good performances last year. But obviously, it seems like the performances that he got last year were just non-existent this year. All right, we can all slate like some players who are there who are way not good enough. All right, I'm not going to slate Joe Linton because I actually do want the lad to come good. I do want him to, because he's not the best player there. We all know that, but it's people who get on his back continuously. Yeah, right. If he plays bad, then of course we are. No, it's a shame because like when we play Man United, if we'd actually gone after United and actually won that game, we could have been second.
Yeah,
second in the table. It seems mind-boggling talking about Newcastle being second with Steve Bruce as a manager. It's mental, isn't it?
100%.
It's not right. I just don't think he should be there. I don't want to single him out or players out, but it's just he's not the right person for the club.
It's a very, very frustrating performance. I've been listening to all the fans who've come on now. Some are blaming the players, some are blaming the manager. For me. There's two things. Steve Bruce should never have been Newcastle manager, and Joe Linton should never have been Newcastle number 9. That's it. I think you can sum up all of our problems from top to bottom in those two people. You've got a fraud for a manager, and you've got a fraud for a number 9. The two most important positions in the team, the manager. Think about it. We've had Bobby Robson, we've had Rafa Benitez, we've had amazing managers, and we've had amazing number 9s. At this point, it feels like our identity is lost. We don't have a good manager, we don't have a good number 9, and that's the two biggest things about our team. It's like there's that one player in your team that like drags the rest of the team down. There's that one identity in the team that sums up everything else. And for me, it's Joe Linton. And I'm sorry I'm ranting about him. I don't want to go on about it, but it's just like, it's not his fault. He didn't want to cost £40 million, but he is the reason why, to me, it's just that identity of our team. We sum it up by Joe Linton and Steve Bruce.
Fuming, mate.
Really?
Absolutely fuming. Yeah. Where do we start with this debacle then? Lineup was actually decent, to be fair. Which I was thinking, for once, Bruce has actually got it right. But even I, one of his biggest critics, underestimated his in-game management and that. Just did what we do in usual weeks, just sat back, let Brentford have the ball, come on to us. We had nothing up front. Wilson's playing off scraps again. And just absolutely pathetic. They've got their reserve team. They've got Ivan Toney on the bench. I know, mate. They've only got, 4 or 5 of their first team players only out of that 11 were in their starting 11. Absolute joke. And yet we, apart from probably Saint-Maximin, have got pretty much the best team we could possibly put out. And yet we're getting dominated by them, having chance after chance, hitting the bar. And it continued into the second half. And it was only a matter of time before they scored. And then I knew from then on they were going to park the bus, and we had no chance of breaking them down.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I don't want Bruce there anymore. I'm sick of it. I also want to say, though, that those players, they don't play for Bruce. They play for the club.
You're right.
Whether or not they're getting on with Bruce, they shouldn't be playing for Bruce. They should be playing for our shirt and our badge and the people that pay their wages, which are the fans and, by extension, the media. Because obviously TV fees and whatnot also come into account there. But those TV fees are paid by fans watching on the TV and stuff. So my point is, they're not playing for Bruce. They're playing for the fans and the badge and the club. So whether or not they like Bruce, they should still be putting in 100% effort on the field. Part of Bruce's job is to get the players playing for the club. I 100% agree with that. I just don't think we should be putting 100% of the blame on Bruce.
Okay.
And going back to the playing for the club thing, just as an example here, let's ignore the last few performances of Maximin before he got sick. He in my opinion, he more than any other player was putting in 110% every single game. Yeah. It looked like he wanted to play for the club. All of his Twitters and stuff shouting out to the fans and saying, "Hey, look, guys, look what we're doing." So cheer for us in the background, guys. Maximin was fully behind getting the crowd involved. He wanted to play for the club. I don't know whether or not he fell out with Bruce, and that's what accounts for his last few performances before he went off sick. But he would be my example of a player playing for the club, not for the manager.